Hi, I'm Ling and I'll be showing you how to make my Halloween Amigurumi eyeballs with this video tutorial by Hooked on Patterns. These are quick and easy to make and are great for adding to your trick-or-treat bowls or for hanging up as Halloween decorations. You can use any yarn type for this project and you can vary the sizes of your eyeballs by using different yarn weights and hook sizes. Just use a hook size that's 1 to 2 sizes smaller than recommended for your chosen yarn to keep your stitches tight. You can keep your eyeballs plain or you can add red veins to make them extra creepy looking. I'll be making one this size for this video. These measure approximately 6 centimeters or 2.4 inches in diameter. Here I've made some smaller eyeballs using DK weight yarn and a 3mm hook. These measure approximately 3.5 centimeters or 1.3 inches in diameter. Here I've used Aran or worsted weight cotton yarn with a 4mm hook to make a keyring. This measures approximately 4.8 centimeters or 1.9 inches in diameter. You will need some white yarn. You'll need around 30 yards of this, some black yarn for the pupil and 2 colours for the iris. I'm using 2 shades of green to make a green eye today. You'll only need around 2 yards of each of these colours. You can use any 2 colours you like for the iris. Here are a few examples of different eye colours. You'll also need a length of red yarn if you would like to add the veins. I'm using this chunky weight acrylic yarn, aka number 5 bulky weight yarn, which recommends using a 6mm hook on the label. But instead of that, I'll be using a 5mm hook to keep the stitches more compact. You'll also need a stitch marker, a yarn needle, scissors and some toy stuffing. We will be using the following US crochet stitches and terms for this project. Magic ring. I'll be showing you how I make my magic rings for this video, but if you're not comfortable with using them, you can simply chain 2 and work into the first stitch instead. Slip stitch, single crochet, increase, which is 2 single crochets worked into the same stitch, decrease, using the invisible decrease technique, which is inserting your hook through the front loops only of the following 2 stitches and making a single crochet. Spiked single crochet, which is a single crochet worked into a stitch below the previous row or round. I'll show you exactly where to place your hook in this video. And we'll be using the back loops only for a couple of rounds. We'll start at the pupil using black yarn and a magic ring. I like to use a double magic ring technique. Here's how I make them. Take the end of the yarn and wrap it around your first 2 fingers twice and then hold the end in place with your pinky. Slide your hook under the 2 strands of yarn and hook the working yarn through and give it a twist as you come up. Now make a chain 1 to lock it into place. Slide the yarn off your fingers and there you have your magic ring. We will now work round 1 into this magic ring and then I'll show you how to close it up. For round 1, we'll work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we'll close the magic ring. Give the end a little tug to see which of the 2 strands move and then grab that strand. Give it a firm tug to close the middle of the ring and then pull on the end again to tighten the second strand. Now we need to slip stitch into the first single crochet to join the round. I find it easier to count the stitches backwards to make sure I'm going into the correct first stitch. Make your slip stitch and pull it tight. Now cut the yarn and pull the end up through the loop on hook to fasten off. And that's the first round done. You can snip the ends down a little to keep them more manageable. You won't need to weave in your ends, but you can crochet around them if you like to secure them a little more. For round 2, we'll start by joining our inner iris colour with a single crochet. I'm using the lighter of my 2 greens. Start by making a slip knot on your hook. You want to scatter your joining points to blend them in, so insert your hook into any stitch other than the first stitch and make a single crochet. This counts as our first stitch for the round. Now make an increase in each remaining stitch. That's 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Finish the round by working another single crochet in the same stitch as you started, so that this becomes an increased stitch as well. Now slip stitch into the first single crochet to join and pull tight. Cut the yarn and fasten off. You should have a total of 12 stitches at the end of this round, or 6 increases. For round 3, we'll join our outer iris colour with a single crochet like before. Join into the first single crochet of any increased stitch. Again, that becomes the first stitch for the round. Now we're going to make a spiked single crochet by inserting a hook at the base of the same increased stitch. Pull up a loop and allow some slack to bring it up to the current level. Yarn over and pull through to finish the stitch, and there you have a spiked single crochet. Now we're going to work into the second single crochet of the same increased stitch. You may need to squish the last stitch over a little to find the stitch. Make a single crochet here. Now we're going to repeat this over each of the increased stitches. Single crochet into the first stitch of the increase, spiked single crochet into the base of the increase, and single crochet into the second stitch of the increase. Single crochet, spiked, and single crochet. You should be doing this for a total of 6 times to complete the round. Finish the round by joining with a slip stitch and fasten off. You should have a total of 18 stitches at the end of this round. For round 4, we'll be working into the back loops only. Make a slip knot with your white yarn and remove it from your hook. Now insert your hook into the back loop only of any stitch and replace the slip knot. Pull it through to join your yarn. Make a slip stitch in the back loop only of each stitch around. Finish in the same back loop as you started to complete the round. You should have a total of 18 slip stitches. For round 5, we'll be working through the back loops only of both the slip stitches and the outer iris stitches. To do this, simply insert your hook through the middle of the slip stitch V's and you'll naturally come through under the outer iris back loops as well. We're going to start with an increase in this first stitch. Mark your first stitch before continuing. Work in the same way, make a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Now we'll repeat this for the rest of the round. Increase, followed by 2 single crochets. Increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet and single crochet. Repeat all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. And that completes round 5. You should now have a total of 24 stitches. From round 6, we'll go back to working through the normal top 2 loops of the stitches again. Make a single crochet in the first stitch and mark the stitch. Make a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now make an increase. Work single crochets in the next 3 stitches. Followed by an increase. Repeat this until the end of round. 3 single crochets followed by an increase. One, 2, 3, increase. One, 2, 3, and increase. And that completes round 6. You should now have 30 stitches. For round 7 to 10, we're going to make a single crochet into each stitch around. Remember to mark your first stitch of each round to keep track. Continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch around. You'll be keeping the stitch count consistent at 30 stitches for these rounds. So that's round 7 done. Work the first stitch of round 8 and mark a stitch. Continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch around. And that's round 8 complete. Again for round 9. Single crochet in each stitch. That's round 9 done. Last one. Single crochet in each stitch. And that's round 10 complete. Check that you still have 30 stitches. For round 11, we're going to start decreasing. We will use the invisible decrease method. Hook through the front loops only of the next 2 stitches and make a single crochet. And that's your decrease stitch. Mark this first stitch. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Make another decrease. And single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Repeat this all the way around. Decrease, followed by 3 single crochets. Decrease, followed by 3 single crochets. and that's round 11 done. You should now have 24 stitches. For round 12 we're going to decrease again. Start with a decrease, mark the stitch, and now work a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Decrease, and work 2 single crochets. Repeat this around. Decrease, followed by 2 single crochets. Decrease, followed by 2 single crochets. That's the end of round 12. You should now have 18 stitches. For round 13, we will continue to decrease. Start with a decrease, mark the stitch, and work a single crochet in the next stitch. Decrease, followed by single crochet. Repeat this to the end of round. Decrease, single crochet. At the end of round 13, you should have 12 stitches. Stuff the eyeball here. Pull the loop on hook long to hold the stitch and remove your hook. Take your toy stuffing and poke it into the small hole. Keep pushing the stuffing inside, making sure you fill it evenly around until the eyeball feels nice and firm. If you're making a smaller eyeball and you're finding the hole too small for your finger, you can use the stuffing tool or the end of your hook to poke the stuffing inside. Once it feels full, replace your hook into the working loop. For round 14, we're going to decrease all the way around. You should make a total of 6 decreases for this round. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you've done that, cut the yarn, leaving a long tail end. Pull the loop on hook up to bring the tail through. Remove your stitch marker and thread the tail through your yarn needle. Weave the end through the front loops of the last 6 stitches to close the hole. You may find that you have a few gaps showing where you have made your decreases. Weave the end through the back of these gaps to cover them up. Weave back and forth a few times to cover the larger gaps and secure the end. Finish by going through the middle of the eyeball and out the side. Trim the yarn close to your work and allow the end to tuck back inside. And there you have a completed eyeball. You can leave the eyeball plain like this if you prefer, or you can make it extra creepy looking by adding the veins. To do this, take your length of red yarn and untwist the plies. You could use thinner yarn or embroidery floss instead, but you just want a thin single strand of red. Take one of the strands and thread it onto your yarn needle. Take the eyeball and thread into the side of the eye through to the middle of the back of the eye. Pull the red yarn through until the end is just hidden inside. We're going to start by making 6 long evenly spaced lines coming out from the middle. Make them anywhere between 3 or 5 rounds long. Make your first line, then make a line on the opposite side. Now add 2 lines evenly between each. When you work the last line, come out at the tip of one of the 6 lines. That's the first set of 6 lines done. Now make a V shape at the tip of each of these lines. Make these lines 1 or 2 rounds long. As you complete one V shape, thread through to the tip of the next line to work the next. Carry on until you have a V shape at the tip of each of the 6 lines. Bring the yarn to the tip of the first V as you finish. Now randomly add 1 or 2 lines at the tip of each of the previous lines, reaching up to the second round out from the iris. As you run out of yarn, feed the yarn through the eye and out at the tip of one of the first 6 lines to trim and hide the end. Take a new length and feed it in the same way and continue creating your veins. Once you've finished, simply thread through the middle of the eye and out the side and trim off the excess. And there you have your spooky Halloween Amigurumi eyeball. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like and subscribe.